And that is the... What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Salah contract update video where we will talk about Fabrizio Romano's latest update on Mo Salah contract situation, and also Melissa Reddy did a recent video with the Premier League where he talked about where the contract talks are standing. Melissa Reddy is a Liverpool correspondent, journalist for the Independent newspaper, and he's very reliable and very knowledgeable when it comes to Liverpool FC because she is a Liverpool fan herself as well. So if you are excited about this video, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss the latest Liverpool transfer news updates. And Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Liverpool remain optimistic over contract negotiations with Mo Salah and his team. Salah only has one game this season where he hasn't scored a goal, and that is the Burnley game where he actually scored a goal but VAR disallowed it, so he was mightily close. He scored a hat-trick against Man United, he scored 2 goals against Atletico Madrid. He is in the form of his life. And I want to say a huge thank you to OneFootball for sponsoring my channel for this month. OneFootball is the home of football, my favorite app. I've been using it for years. You can find all kinds of football news on there, and also you can find the stats, the latest transfer news. I have been going there almost every day checking the Liverpool transfer news because they combine the best and most interesting transfer news and football news. And you can find also interesting videos, stats, analysis, fantasy football tips, and all kinds of interesting football related content on the OneFootball apps, and it's completely free. So what are you waiting for? Make sure to download OneFootball using the link in the video's description, and you support the channel as well that way. Many argue that he is the best player in the world right now, and I fully agree with that. I'm fully on board with that. Ronaldo and Messi overall are better when it comes to their whole careers, but this season on form Salah is absolutely out of this world. He's unreal. He's blowing everybody out of the water, and he is, I think, potentially he could become the best Liverpool player to ever wear the famous Liverpool shirt if he stays at Liverpool for the next 4 or 5 years. And Melissa already confirmed in that video that Salah wants to stay at Liverpool, and Liverpool wants Salah to stay at Liverpool. They want to give him a new contract, and it's not necessarily, Salah doesn't want £500,000 per week wages, and most of the wages come as bonuses, but a new contract is a very complicated because you have all these different clauses and image rights, and also you have bonuses and add-ons, so you have to iron out every single small detail, and that's not difficult. And also Liverpool think, according to Melissa Reddy, that they have a very strong hand in terms of where could Salah go if he doesn't accept a new contract. And that's of course a very dangerous question to ask. If Liverpool probably wouldn't ask this Mo Salah directly, but they think that they are in a very strong position when it comes to sitting down at the negotiating table, because Real Madrid and Barcelona are a shadow of their former selves. Paris Saint-Germain are a very top-heavy team, and even if they lose Kylian Mbappe, Messi is the king of Paris right now. Salah wouldn't want to go there. Salah wants to play for a team where he is the star player, he is the best player, the superstar. So him going to PSG, I don't think it would suit him. And Bayern Munich are not spending the amount of money that is required to get Mo Salah. But it's a very dangerous game, because if Liverpool don't agree a contract with Salah, the sharks will come circling, as I said many times, because in the summer, next summer, Salah will only have 1 year left on his contract. But at the moment the negotiations are ongoing, and Melissa Reddy is confident that the contract will get sorted. And there are also rumors that Jurgen Klopp specifically himself urged the owners and told the owners, give Salah a new contract because he must stay at Liverpool. He's a Liverpool legend already. And this is what Fabrizio Romano said about the contract talks. Liverpool are optimistic. They want Mo Salah to sign a contract as soon as possible, because they know so well if they go to next summer without Mo Salah extending and signing a new contract, they are going to have a big problem. they are going to have a big problem because there will be only 1 year left on Mo Salah's contract. We are talking about a very special player right now, the best player in the world, and why they are working on it right now with Mo Salah, with his people. This is why. They are still optimistic. Liverpool know that Mo loves Liverpool life, with teammates, with Jurgen Klopp, with the club. It's about the atmosphere at Anfield. He really loves Liverpool, and he wants that. He said in a recent interview he would love to finish his career at Liverpool. He would never want to play against Liverpool. He would love to play there for the rest of his career. And Fabrizio continued, it's about the financial and economical side, to see if Liverpool are able to find an agreement with Mo Salah, and especially his agent and his representatives. They are negotiating, they are in talks. Fabrizio confirms this. Liverpool want to do the contract as soon as possible, not in April or May. They don't want to leave it last minute. They want to do it in the next weeks or months. And Mo Salah in just 12 games this season was involved in 20 goals. So if you add up his goals and an assist, he is involved in 20 goals, which is absolutely staggering to think about, that he contributed to almost double the amount of games that he played, and I mean goals. And if Liverpool is in agreement that Salah can continue to produce a high level of performance for the next 3 or 4 years, there shouldn't be a need to debate the pros and cons of holding on him. There will be the argument that Liverpool may not be able to get much in the way of value of Salah when he's 33 or 34 years old, but the cost of holding on to the forward will be significant. But however, the cost of losing such an elite talent, the best player in the world right now on form, and being forced to somehow replace him, arguably outweighs the risks of supplying a new contract. It's an absolute no-brainer, and I really hope that Salah's agent doesn't get too greedy and he doesn't ask for the stars and the moon and the galaxy and everything, and he stays within reason, hopefully, in these contract negotiations. And according to some newspapers, FSG has set a deadline and they want this contract to get sorted this year. So before January the 1st, before the new year, Liverpool should get the contract sorted. And let's hope that is the case. Also, Andy Robertson said that he's really hoping that Salah will get a new contract at Liverpool. But let's listen exactly what Andy Robertson, the Liverpool left back, had to say about Mo Salah. I think the way he's playing at the start of this season, he has been absolutely incredible. You can just see him walking on the pitch and he feels as though any chance he gets, he's going to score. The thing that goes underrated with Mo Salah is his work rate. The way he helps out Trent, the way he helps out his defense behind him, everything like that. That's when he's at his best. That's when he creates the chances and gets the goals. When he's mentally so strong, he's an incredible player, and I think at this moment he's the world's best, and he will want to continue that. He won't want it for 9 or 10 games, which he has done so far. He will want to do it for the whole season, like he has done previously, and hopefully he can do it because it gives us the best chance of scoring goals and winning trophies. And Robertson is very hopeful that the Salah contract will get sorted very soon. Salah said he would be happy to stay here, and that's up to him and the club to come to an agreement. I hope that I can continue to play with him. I love playing with Mo Salah, I love playing with all the lads around me, and you don't want to see anyone leave. Let's leave it up to the club and Mo. I'm sure everyone's trying to get to an agreement that can work for everyone. Hopefully they can reach a resolution, because if he's not the world's best, he's definitely in the discussion for it. And they are the type of players you want at this club. They are the type of players that the fans at his club deserve. Hopefully that continues and he can stay for a bit longer at Liverpool. And Andy Robertson also talked about Konate, saying that he's a fantastic guy and he has settled into the dressing room very quickly. I know how good the lads were when I first came here, and now I'm part of that. It's important you try to make the new boys feel comfortable and as quickly as possible, and that's when you get a performance like Konate put in at Man United. He has not played too much this season. He will want to play more often, But of course, but he has had to settle in a new country, new language, new environment, and he's still very young, even though he's a giant, so sometimes you forget how young Konate is, and it's important that everybody remembers that he's still a young player, settling into a new country, but the way he played against Man United, it's very, very promising for the future. And Jurgen Klopp actually gave an interesting interview saying, and admitting kind of, that his players, some of his players are unhappy. He said, I don't think it's possible to keep the whole squad, a large squad, happy. And I don't think I have done it, Jurgen Klopp said. You should ask the players. The thing we have to do is win games, especially when you play for Liverpool. When you are in football, you learn early that you have to accept the decisions that the manager makes. I want the players to be good in training, so they show when they come in they can be really influential. The players are doing that, but they aren't always happy. I want them to be happy. I want them to be angry as well when an opponent wants our points. Is just what we do over the weeks and months. I think the team hasn't changed too much from 2020. Wijnaldum is out, Jota and Thiago Alcantara is in. I don't think about comparisons, and if we are better now. It is not too important, we have to improve, and there is space for that. You win 5-0 against Man United and it's perfect, but it was not. The performance wasn't perfect, the result was perfect. Man United had clear-cut chances which we gave them, so we have to improve, but we know that and we are working on it. So we should not only rely on luck or Alisson, and that's what we spoke about at half-time. And a big fitness update. Naby Keita is back training just 3 days or 4 days after Paul Pogba almost broke his ankle. It's an absolute miracle. And Naby Keita is made of something different this season than he was last season or the season before, because a tackle like that would have put Naby Keita out for months previously. But now, Naby Keita, it looks like he finally gets a little bit of luck when it comes to injuries and fitness, because he's back in training and he's ready for the Brighton game. That's what Jurgen Klopp said. Thiago is maybe a week or a few days away. He's still back training. But Fabinho is out, James Milner is out, Harvey Elliott is out long term. And Jurgen Klopp said that Naby Keita looks good. We were all surprised, but he was obviously lucky, so I think he will be ready for Brighton. With Fabinho, it doesn't look that good. It's a bit more complicated, not too complicated, but complicated enough to keep him out against Brighton. I still wait for last news, but he was not in team training yet, and this is never a good sign. Thiago was in team training for the first time yesterday. We did a session where he could be part of pretty much the whole session, but that doesn't mean he's ready to play a football game, unfortunately. We will see what we do with him, but he's closer than he was last week, much closer. Now we have to see what we do with that. So maybe Jurgen Klopp is hinting about maybe Thiago could be on the bench against Brighton. I think he will be ready for the Atletico Madrid game in midweek, which I'm already rubbing my hands against each other and looking forward to. Of course, I'm looking forward to the Liverpool-Brighton game at Anfield as well. I really hope that Mo Salah can put in another masterclass performance, and I'm really looking forward to this weekend of football. And Jurgen Klopp talked about what it takes to win the Premier League title. The standard of the league is that in the top half, in the top of the table, you have to perform on an incredibly high level and to be incredibly inconsistent and all these kind of things. In this moment, we don't know if we will be. So that's always the thing you can never be sure about, and that's why it's so important that we had a good start. We had a good start so far, but obviously other teams had good starts as well. Nothing happened really in the table. Obviously some clubs feel that they came a bit short in the early part of the season, but we all know that can change pretty quickly, and we try to be as consistent as somehow possible. For that we need to be ready, for example, for tomorrow, which is one of the trickiest games in the Premier League because of the work of Graham Potter and what he's doing at Brighton, the way they play. That's just the Premier League. There is no game which you can take a little bit easy. Not at all. You have to be always at your absolute best. And Jurgen Klopp also said that so far it clicked in a lot of moments. And that's why we have some really impressive results and scorelines, but we don't expect that to happen all the time. And we have no problem with winning a game 1-0. Absolutely not. It's a bit more nervy, obviously, but it's still okay. And that's what we have to be ready for again, where we have to improve and then be then stable and consistent is defense. How we work when the opponent has the ball. Actually, there is no reason why somebody should get through if we do it really well. But because we are human beings, always things can happen. But even for that, we need to have a solution. So the next one we can sort it. That's something where we can 100% improve. Offensively we can as well, but that's more difficult when you see the goals we scored so far. And also Jurgen Klopp spoke about something very interesting, the Joe Gomez, and it has been difficult for him not playing as often as he would have liked after his long injury. That's absolutely not easy, that's clear, but it was always clear that we had to react in our situation and we had to bring in a centre half. I think everybody agreed on that, and then it was always clear as well that in the moment when all 4 or 5, I always have to mention it, when you saw Nat Phillips playing the second half against Preston, that's a completely different player to the player he was 1 or 2 years ago. A top class centre half, and he's not playing as well. Joey didn't play yet, but that's how it is after the long injuries, stuff like this. Then we decided for Joel, which made absolute sense. Now Ibu Konate came in. We have to deal with Joe Gomez. In the beginning especially we tried to deal still with the intensity. Now we are not even halfway through the season and we talk about these kind of things. Hopefully no one gets injured through the year, but that's a footballer's life. You have to be on top of your game for the moment when you come in. In that moment you have to convince everybody, and that's how it is. The boys get on really well with each other, all 5 of them. That's really nice to see. Joe Gomez's qualities are incredible, we all know that, we saw that in a lot of moments, but it's just now we have now top class players only in that position, and that makes it a bit harder when you are not in the lineup at the moment. But it was always like this in football. The only thing you can do is keep working really hard. In your moment will come. Joe Gomez just has to take his moment, and then he will play a lot of games again, I'm sure. Thanks for watching guys, hope you enjoyed this. Have a nice day, see you later, good night.